Well, praise the Lord. I'm going to make a short video. Not going to go into a lot of preachy stuff, but I'm going to make a statement about this Bundy guy, this rancher. You know, when I first seen this all happening, I was on his side. I was born in Oklahoma. I was raised on a ranch. So I know how valuable ranchers are as well as farmers. And one time, me and my husband was going to buy some land up in Colorado, and it joined the forestry up there, government land, and they said that we had, we could graze cattle up there. No one mentioned about us paying, dues or anything. So that was a new thing to me. Probably if I'd bought the land, then they would have told me. I don't know, but they didn't tell us ahead of time. But anyway, I was on his side until he made a statement on TV. When he began to talk about the black people. Now, Elijah G., a gentleman on my side, I listened to what he said. I had to agree. I think maybe it's a false flag. I think something is going on far more than what we all know about. The government is really bad about keeping us in the dark when it comes to secrets and things. But as I sat here and listened to him talk about black people and slavery and how much better off they were in slavery and picking cotton and all that stuff, I sat there and I was thinking, how ignorant are you? I mean, really. Here you had people come out and back you up, other ranchers come out and back you up with guns, was willing to stand there and maybe even have a shootout and die for your cause. But yet, in your ignorance of a white man, you were giving black people down the road. For why? What did black people have to do with you being a rancher and the federal government coming against you grazing your cattle on federal government land and not paying the fee that other ranchers paid? What? Why did you even have to bring the color of a person into it and start talking down to them, belittling them, saying things about them? They need to go learn to pick cotton. Come on, maybe you need to learn to go pick cotton. I mean, it made me angry. I have cousins that are black. So, are you telling me my cousins who I love should be slaves? No. That didn't suit me at all. We had a war here that freed the slaves, thank God. That no man, I don't care what color they are, should be a slave to another man. Should be bought, sold, and treated less than an animal. And you standing there that had people come out and back you up, degrade, and downcast black people because of their color, who had nothing to do with your ranch. Had nothing to do with your cattle, whether you grazed on public land and not paid the fee, or what, or whether the government, why the government come in and was taking your herd of cattle. Had nothing to do at all with your problem. So why did you belittle the black man for something they weren't doing at all? Zero. Zilch. As far as I'm concerned, when you opened your big fat mouth and started running down the blacks, you lost my backing. Period. You're out there on your own as far as I'm concerned. You don't have my backing at all. Especially when you said that they were happier slaves. Happier being a slave? Really? Really? Well, if they were so happy being slaves, then maybe you need to sell yourself into slavery and become somebody's slave. I mean, hey, if it made the black people happy, made them content, according to your words, then maybe you would be happier and content as a slave. Just saying. I know I wouldn't be. I don't want to be nobody's slave. I don't want to be bought. I don't want to be sold. I don't want to have to be yelled at, screamed at, slapped, beat, or done anything to. I don't want to have to be made to get up before daylight and go out and work in the fields, milk the cows, or do anything that my slave owner, my master, might decide for me to do. No. I don't want to do that. And by the grace of God and by the glory of His righteousness, I don't have to do that. Slavery is no longer here in the United States, as far as people know. I believe there's still slavery here in the United States, especially women that gets brought over here from other countries and put into slave markets, underground slave markets. There has been documents made on this. Do you think those women are happy being a slave, being forced to have sex with anyone and everyone that their masters may decide for them to have sex with? No. People's ignorance get them in their own trouble sometimes. And Bundy, you're a very ignorant man when it comes to certain things. Very ignorant. Uneducated. Not enlightened about certain things. I don't know why you took this opportunity to bash and downgrade black people. You must have a deep hate in your heart for black people to do this. Take this opportunity, what was going on with you about your ranch, and then you decide to downgrade black people and say they were better off as slaves. I don't know if you'll see this video. I hope somebody lets you see this. Because this white woman is telling you, white man, quit being ignorant and speaking ignorance about other races, other colors of people, black, whatever. Quit being ignorant. Quit putting people down, because look at what you're doing. You grazed your cattle on government land. You were told that you need to pay a grazing fee, and you didn't. For years you didn't do it. You were hard-headed and did what you wanted to do because you thinking that, oh, I'm white, I can do what I want to do. No, you broke the laws, the federal laws of the land, and so therefore you need to suffer the consequences. You do. And then you talk about black people enjoying being slaves. You don't even know what slavery's about. You've never been a slave, so therefore you don't know. I admit that a lot of our black people nowadays don't know what slavery is about because it was their forefathers that was slaves. But they know enough about it that they don't want to go back into it. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. My cousins don't have to go back into slavery because of the ignorance of a man like you, Bundy. You see, I would go fight for my cousins to keep them from being slaves. They have a right to have the privilege that as I have. They're my cousins, though they're black. It doesn't matter. They have the same rights as I have. Freedom of speech, freedom to live our lives according to the dictates of our heart, to worship our God, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, to do what we feel we need to do in our lives. It's a privilege that we all have here in the United States, no matter what color. Thank the Lord. Praise His holy name that we have the freedom here in the United States to do that. And that slavery, as far as we know it, being sold at an auction is no longer permissible publicly. The other kind should be shut down too. But I'm telling you, Mr. Bundy, you lost my respect. Totally lost my respect. I think maybe I respected you because I was raised on a ranch. And I know the rigors of ranch life, the hardships of ranch life, getting things done. But what you said about the black people is unacceptable, in my opinion and in my belief. Unacceptable. To me, all you showed was your own ignorance. And you lost every bit of my respect. Period. Now, I don't hate you as a God-fearing woman. I pray for you to wake up and understand what you said was not right, totally wrong, and inflammatory against the black people. And I say to the black people, forgive the ignorance of white people like Mr. Bundy. They don't even have any idea what slavery's about. They don't have any idea what it feels like to go drag a cotton sack behind you as you're picking cotton. I pick cotton. Not because I was forced to as a slave, but because I wanted to earn some extra money. And I was a teenager. So I picked cotton to get the money. As you go out and you can pick strawberries at a strawberry farm or other things to get money. I did. But it is a hard job to pick cotton. Hard, long, hot, hard job. And it should be because you chose to do to earn money, not because you're forced to do through slavery. And in my eyes, you put a lot of very intelligent black people down that has went to college, that has worked their way through, got college degrees. Some of them are doctors, some of them are lawyers. We even have a black president, Mr. Bundy. Look at the White House and you see we have a black president. An intelligent man. I don't agree with him on all things that he says. And no, I don't always uphold my president because there's a lot of things that he says that really irritate me. But it's not because of the color of his skin. It's because his own belief system. Do you know that God created us all equal? He did. Black, white, yellow, red, whatever color we may be. He created us equal, and He loves us equally as much. He values us, for we are His children. We are, no matter what color we are God's children, created by Him, loved by Him. Bundy, you need to learn to keep your mouth shut. Dig up the money and pay the federal government the money you owe them, and they'll go away and leave you alone. I think you should pay them. Instead of running your head about things you don't even know about. So, let us forgive this ignorance of this man, but no longer back him. Take your guns and ride down there and face down the federal government. Walk away. Walk away. If you're going to fight the federal government on something that is necessary to fight, and at first I thought this was necessary, in a way I thought it was still necessary, but it's the wrong man. The wrong man to fight for. He's not worth getting shot and killed over. He's not. His ranch is not worth it, nor his cattle. No. He has no respect for other human life just because they happen to be black. And if you have no respect or respect for other people just because of the color of their skin, why should we stand with guns and face down the federal government to save your ranch as you spew out your evil things, evil speech about black people? That's just all what I'm going to say. That's my thoughts for today on Bundy the rancher who hates black people. Blessings in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.